welcome back to episode, what is this, 13
Episode
of
13.
the Marvel Buddies podcast. How's it going, addicts?
It's going great.
Perfect, perfect. How was your Thanksgiving? That goes to you, chat, for anyone that celebrated Thanksgiving this last week.
Bro, I had two Thanksgiving dinners, one on Thanksgiving and one this weekend, and those times on the toilet
Yeah,
afterwards.
for sure, for sure.
The
You
toilet
really,
Thanksgiving hype.
yep. You already know. What's up, Loops? All right, guys. This week's a little bit different, you know. I know I
Different.
I know that the end of the month is usually
Yes, the cosmic
event.
calculator!
It makes its return. I know. The end of the month is usually for events, but this week we're covering weapons and gadgets of all kinds in the Marvel universe, in the comic universe, and that's what we'll be covering. I knew addicts off the rip would ask about the cosmic calculator, so that was number one, of course. So, it's just a little bit of a way for me to hopefully try and get you guys to expand on what characters you want to hear or see. I know,
And not
and,
just
and not,
Batman.
yeah, for sure, definitely not Batman. But I know, I had a conversation with, if I can get their name, I think it's Jinxed. Jinx and I had a conversation on my Discord not too long ago about the show The Runaways, and I included a couple of the weapons from The Runaways. I included some X-Men weapons just because it's something the X-Men is a topic I'm a little more knowledgeable about. And yeah,
And everything Spider-Man.
everything's, yep, and Spider-Man, of course. But I did not
Because
include
Micro
Spider-Man.
is
But
Spider-Man.
yeah, I am Spider-Man. But sadly, I did not include some Spider-Man gadgets. I would assume that you guys would understand that go web, fly, web shooters are a thing. I also didn't include like Iron Man armor because, you know. But if you guys want a part two of Marvel weapons, we can definitely do a
Yes.
part two of Marvel weapons where
Yes,
I
I
go
do.
into a bunch of different Marvel weapons.
The
Um,
Infinity Gauntlet better be in this.
it's definitely in this, but so I try to power scale everything. I tried, you know, so there's gonna be some like super OP things. I'm hoping it's kind of funny when we reach the end. But anyway, number one, I know addicts isn't addicts without the cosmic calculator. I sadly could not find another image of the cosmic calculator. So
That's because
because
the thing is so
it's
powerful.
so powerful. It's so coveted and powerful. No one truly knows what happens with
All I
Pro
know is
Rata.
all these items Magneto could definitely get the UN.
Yeah, oh, if he had just one of these weapons, he'd be the ruler of the world. But of course, oh, and by the way, I know what everyone is thinking off the rip of their minds. What is Andrew wearing today? Yes, I'm sadly wearing a Batman shirt. The
What?
heresy. I grabbed the first shirt I could find and accidentally picked up a Batman shirt
Why do you even own a Batman shirt?
because I do. All
I'm
right.
wearing a Dragon Ball Z hoodie
I was
right
gonna
now.
wear
All
my
right.
Ant-Man and the Wasp shirt today, but it was sadly dirty.
All right. This means that he has to do a week covering Batman just for the memes.
For the memes, maybe sometime in the future, we will see Batman. Batman is God. Batman is great. I wouldn't go as far as to say that, but he's a good character. He's not a Marvel character for the Marvel Buddies
But he keeps
podcast.
getting requested for some
Some
reason.
reason, people. All right, whatever. Cosmic Calculator. Skip Batman. All right. I know you guys all remember this. This is the goofiest weapon I've ever had to talk about. But y'all remember Pro Rata, all right, and his Cosmic Calculator, where he sent Howard, the most goofiest character I've had to cover, to go and retrieve the long lost jewel to power this Cosmic Calculator. So, with this item that Howard is sent to go retrieve, apparently it gives the user an untold amount of power, for he can create illusions, use a create illusions with energy blasts and bolts from his hands, as well as manipulate inanimate objects at whim, and it gives the user a technological genius. I Crown, you see, always making me feel better. Maybe I am just Deadpool pretending to wear a Batman shirt. Maybe I am.
Micro, that's when you just take that comment and you just roll with it.
Yep, that's what I am. Yep,
That's
you're right.
that's
Yeah,
what I'm doing.
yeah. Anyway, cosmic calculator, right? Oh,
Yep.
it makes
Yep.
you a expert mathematician, and
Okay.
which because of the lack of information on the calculator, one can only assume that because Pro Rata had the cosmic calculator, he couldn't do any of that without the full use of what is, I'm sure, the most powerful weapon in all of Marvel.
All right.
Yeah, that's the cosmic calculator. I hope that's what I have on that. That's Marvel buddies. Hope to see you next week. Bye. And anyway,
I I
um,
definitely want I definitely
I,
want the cosmic
hey
calculator.
man, someone send a note to Feige. Let him know that we want more cosmic calculator. All right. Hopefully when they make Howard the Duck, the movie, they had pro rata in it, and they make the cosmic calculator,
They
and
better have the cosmic calculator.
for sure. Anyway, uh, off of goofy weapons and onto a more serious one, we have none other than Jinx's most favorite character, and the weapon that they use, the Staff of One. So it's probably what I believe to be one of the most powerful magic staffs in Marvel. It was created by a mage named Tokiko Minoru, and it was when Tokiko, what I'm assuming is a female, beat an ancient entity known as the One. The offer Tokiko gave the entity was die or be my weapon, and the entity was like, I don't want to die, so I guess now I'll just be your weapon. And
All right,
then
I've got a very dumb question.
what's up?
The one, is that the same as He Who Remains?
No.
Okay.
The one is like a magical blood entity, magician kind of thing. We'll get into it, but it is not He Who Remains. That is Kang. And then this one is definitely not Kang. However, for the next one, I'll let you decide on Kang or no
Wait, he's
Kang.
Kang even in the comics?
Yeah, of course. Kang is. Oh well.
I thought that was a
Technically no.
Loki.
It is.
Yeah, I was gonna
Yeah.
say.
No. So, all right. In For anyone who hasn't seen Loki, um, and
Divert thine ears.
I'm telling Crown now because I know you haven't seen it. You might want to hit me on mute right there real quick till I give you the thumbs up. Um, I'm counting you down. 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, ready? So for Loki, the villain at the end of it is He Who Remains, and He Who Remains technically in Loki is Kang. And in the comics, though, they're separated into two separate entities where He Who Remains is kind of just like, some dude who remains, but is separate from Kang. So it is the staff of one is completely different. The one inside the staff is completely different from both Kang and He Who Remains. Um, but
Okay.
that's where I'm getting at. Um, anyway, where was I? Oh, die or be my weapon. That is the alternative given to the ancient entity, and the entity chose to be a weapon, which was the Staff of One, and the Staff of One was then passed down from generation to generation before coming into contact with Nico Minoru, the person that we commonly see wielding the Staff of One.
Do
It
you
was
get the power of the one?
you'll see. So it
Okay.
was given to Tina Minoru, her mother, and if anyone isn't aware of the Runaways or who Tina is a witch. She's a member of Pride, and Pride is pretty much like you have the Kingpin on the East Coast and you have Pride on the West Coast. And Pride is this group, like this big, powerful group made up of aliens and wizards and scientists and time travelers and whatnot that kind of like run the
Everything
criminal.
reverts back to Spider-Man.
Everything reverts back to Spider-Man, but they pretty much run a crime syndicate on the West Coast. No crime goes undetected without the knowledge of the Pride. And Tina Minoru just happens to be the witch, one of the members. The Minorus are a family involved in Pride. It's, if I'm not mistaken, let me see if I can get all the families. It's the Wilders, the Minorus, um, the Deans, the peek. Here's the staff of one, by the way. This is the Yorks, and I forget who
Oh, so
the other person
clickbait.
is. Yeah, clickbait. Yep. Here's Nico Minoru and her girlfriend Katarina. I forgot her name. Carolina Dean. Again, the Runaways is the kids of the Pride running away from their evil parents, and when the staff comes into contact with Tina, Tina uses the staff, and her daughter, sorry, her daughter dies. Nico's sister. Um, and Tina wanting to get her sister back uses the staff. Or Tina wanting to get her daughter back uses the staff on Nico, and it causes Nico and the staff to infuse. Nico literally absorbs the staff, and it isn't until like it isn't until one of the other Pride members, Gertrude's father, his name is the Dale. Dale takes a Japanese battle axe and cuts Nico in half, or he cuts her. I don't. It's unclear if it's in half or not. But he does hit her with the battle axe, and the staff is then separated from Nico's body, and she has full control of the staff. Um, yeah. Pretty much the staff allows her to do any of the incantations listed here. I will begin reading the long list of incantations related to blood.
You
Uh,
just had to link that.
yep, I did. This is all the spells that the staff of one can do, and
Oh
in
my
alphabetical order.
god.
Yep. Including a spell called Abraham Lincoln, the very first one. Nico states she panicked and saw guns, and then it allowed her to vanish things. Pretty much, the way the spells work is Nico can conjure different things, but every time she makes a spell, she has to say it differently. So she'll be like, "Oh, fireball," and then next time flame orb. Next time, and different versions of saying what she wants every time she does it. So every time she
Oof.
conjures a different spell, she has
She needs
to
to keep a
keep
thesaurus
up
on her
with,
at all
yeah,
times.
pretty much. She has to keep finding different ways of summoning it with different forms. Furthermore, this is where things get absolutely gross. I mentioned one was a blood mage. In order for the staff to activate, in order for it to work, she has to offer some sort of blood sacrifice, whether it be a cut, bleeding from the gums, and at sometimes menstruation has been a way of donating blood to the staff so that she could use the
So
spell.
I'm not gonna lie
It's
to you,
very
Macro. I
gross.
still think I'd rather wield the cosmic calculator.
Yeah, I probably would too. It's very hard having the staff of one, even though you have like a plethora of powers. I think having to give up blood and then also needing to probably keep a thesaurus on me at all times is probably a big letdown. But it is still one of the most insanely powerful staffs in all of Marvel comics. If you have another staff you want to swing my way, you probably could let me know about that. But yeah, here's the staff of one, Carolina, and her space light powers.
Clickbait.
Pause. What's up, Loops? What up? Here's your clickbait. Focus on this right here.
There's the thumbnail for the video.
Yep. Yeah. What's
Does it
up,
on
Loops?
purpose, chat.
You got a question or something on I'm assuming it has something to do with the blood.
Bro, I'm just like reading down the
Oh, okay. All right,
flimsy
all right.
con.
No, all right. And so you can't talk about the Staff of One and the Runaways without talking about Gertrude's crazy time traveling bandit of a father and mother, Dale and Stacy, and their 4D time portico. They are pretty much it's another Runaways weapon, and it's pretty much this. This is the time portico. It's a chair resembling a throne from ancient Egypt, and pretty much it's a time traveling machine. Um, it's said that they've dated back to the 14th century and gone as far as the 87th century, and they're bandits pretty much. Stacy and Dale, they've gone throughout time stealing weapons and stuff, and from those centuries, and even dinosaurs. They've gone back and stolen dinosaurs. It is very insane, I know, and it only gets even more insane as they genetically engineer these dinosaurs, right? They're not engineers in any way. They're scientists and they're bandits, but they're also like biologists, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
Um, and they've genetically engineered dinosaurs, right, to do different things. One of which is a velociraptor named Old Lace that can telepathically communicate to Dale and Stacy's daughter Gertrude or Gert, and you can take that as you will. But Old Lace, the velociraptor, who I can look up. I'm gonna look up Marvel instead of Velociraptor, but
I just
yep.
wanted to see a basic Velociraptor.
This is Gert and the Velociraptor. This is them. This is Old Lace. It's got a little nose piercing. And this is Gertrude. Yeah. Here's Old Lace.
All
Yep.
right.
It's a Velociraptor. It's yeah. Um. Can So Gert can pretty much get the Velociraptor to do whatever she wants, except attack members of Gertrude's immediate family, which include Dale and Stacy. Um, Pretty much, if you guys want a little background on Dale and Stacy, they were intergalactic time-traveling bandits from the year God knows when, and they were doing their time heists when they accidentally crashed in the 80s. Oh no, you stranded us in the 80s. Haven't you read every single history book? It's the worst decade of the millennium. Haha, everybody born in the 80s, you suck.
Luckily, I was born in the 90s. Let's go.
Anyway, upon landing in the 80s, right, they're confronted by a group of religious fanatics and
Oh
members
boy.
of Carolina's family. This girl, that space
Mhm.
glowy one, um, known as the Gibborim. And the Gibborim were like, hey, come join our religion. We got light space aliens made of light that can fly and
So
shoot light.
basically, this Marvel weapon slash artifact,
Hmm.
time machine.
Time machine. Yeah, pretty much. And then they just gave
Still
all
not
their.
convinced that it's better than the cosmic calculator.
You can. All right, addicts. All right, fair enough. You know what? I give you that. I give you that.
Because if I'm already like, if I get the cosmic calculator micro
Yeah, in a
and I'm a
fight.
god tier mathematician,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
I could figure out time travel, right?
Yeah, I guess so. And then you can build a time machine to counter their time machine. I guess so.
Exactly.
Well played, addicts. Very well played. I guess the
And then
cosmic calculator has no rival, no equal.
the cosmic calculator is the best, dude. I'm
Eh,
telling you.
gets you every time.
Could do
We,
better than the Infinity Gauntlet at this point.
yeah, could be. And then so
Was
that's pretty
Thanos
much.
a master math teacher?
I don't think so, but
All
I
right.
mean, Anyway, that's pretty much the 40 time portico. It's a time machine. It's a really cool time machine.
There it is. It's
But
a
it
time machine. Anyway,
but can it help me with my math homework? Dude, it can do your math
exactly.
homework for you. I'm pretty sure. I
Well, I mean, you could
mean, you'd
just
have
go
to.
into the future.
Yeah, you could just. Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
You could
You
go
can.
into the future, see the results of the test, and just keep doing it over and over and over, and you're eventually
Exactly.
gonna get it right. That's how math
Exactly.
works.
Exactly. Addix has the big brain here. Addix is the one that's planning on ruling the universe and taking over the United Nations, alright?
No, I'm not going for the universe. I want the United
The
Nations.
United Nations, yeah, of course, of course. Just the United Nations.
I
Alright,
want to be Magneto.
yeah, for sure. Cosmic Magneto, cosmic calculating Magneto. Alright, speaking
The
of Magneto
Muramasa
and his
Blade.
X-Men, we're talking about the Muramasa Blade here. That's the next one on the list. If anyone's unfamiliar with Wolverine, he spends quite a long time in Japan, especially after World War II. After World
All
War
right.
II, Wolverine seeks redemption for his actions, and so one of his previous mentors, Ogun, who I sadly was to believe would be in Falcon and the Winter Soldier, but was not, um, instructed him to meet up with a guy named Bando on how to be a man, a normal man, not warrior, not ravage beast, but man. And he does. They train, and he falls in love with a woman named Itsu. and they would have a child. Except that one day, while he was out proving that he is a man, the Winter Soldier comes, kills his wife and unborn child, and then Wolverine is kicked out because he goes in a fit of rage and beats everyone up. Less awe. But don't worry, because Wolverine's child, Dakin, is no bueno. And so his mutant ability and healing factor made it so that Dakin was kind of a piece of shit. And Dakin, I can cover Dakin if you guys want me to, but there is a long list of nonsense involved with Dakin, including pheromone powers, which, by the way, I really hate pheromone powers. If anyone's unfamiliar with pheromone powers, there's a long list of characters that have it. Dakin, Gambit, Star Fox, and all it is
Yes,
just,
Star Fox.
here's my musk, smell it and fall in love with me. Oh, beautiful men and women falling in love with me, depending on how you swing. Dakin is bisexual because he's an animal and he'll do it with anything. Um, yeah.
All right.
But that's part of Dakin's powers. He also has claws, like Wolverine. He is a child of Wolverine. He has two up here, the same way that Wolverine's daughter does, X-23. However, instead of having a foot claw, he has one coming from under his palm here. And this is where things get interesting, right? So upon Wolverine, finding his dead family, thanks to Romulus sending out the Winter Soldier, Romulus being another Wolverine figure, and yes, I said finger because he has three claws coming out from the back and then one coming out from the thumb. If you guys haven't seen, I'll show you a picture of Romulus Marvel. It is very gross. This dude has a fourth claw coming here, hold on, out of his thumb here. If you guys can't see, it is a thumb claw coming out from there. It's very gross. Here it is. Here's a better picture of it.
I personally think that is gorgeous and should be the clickbait.
Sure. Yeah, here. We'll have this picture of toy Romulus. Here, Romulus. Damn it! Try to find a big
Just
picture.
with zero context.
Yep. Here's Romulus. This gross ass dude. He sent the Winter Soldier to kill Wolverine's wife because he's like, haha, I'm gonna go after Wolverine. And so Wolverine's like, I gotta go see Muramasa and find a way to kill Romulus. Because Romulus also has a mutant healing factor like mine. And so Muramasa's like, I bet I'm gonna come help you kill them all. And by doing so, I will forge a mighty blade made out of your soul and blood. And that is exactly, like, literally Wolverine's rage in his soul and the blood is fused to make a katana that is so strong it can cut adamantium clean. One of the strongest substances known to man. Wolverine's impenetrable, unbreakable claws cut by the Muramasa Blade. Can be cut by the Muramasa Blade. And it is so coveted that Dakin, after dying to it at one point and then coming back to life at another point, had the Tinker, if you guys saw Spider-Man Far From Home, was it? No.
Everything goes back to Spider-Man.
Yeah, everything goes back to Spider-Man. But what is it? Homecoming. Tinker was that one dude that built all the stuff for the Vulture, the kind of chubby looking dude that built everything. He built sheaths of adamantium for Dakin's bottom claw here, so that he could input the Muramasa Blade, and every time it would come out, it would scratch the adamantium sheaths and not kill him. And then he can have two blades to go after his father with. This dude is nuts.
Yes.
But Wolverine gets the
You want to
Muramasa
know what
Blade.
would save him from that?
The cosmic calculator. I hate you so much. I hate you so much. I knew you'd say that too. But the sword is so extremely durable. It can cut through any substance, including Cyclops' optic beams. It has literally cut through it and diffracted it. It is incredible. And here's an image of Wolverine fighting a clone of Sabretooth with the Muramasa Blade. It is simply a sword made out of pure blood and rage. And there's two of them. It is it's
Yes.
fan freaking tastic. And so
Wait, did you just say there's two Muramasa
there's
blades?
two Muramasa blades. There's a
Hmm.
second Muramasa blade.
You want to
Um,
know what a math?
is there two cosmic calculators? I think not. You know,
Math states that one cosmic calculator is better
nah,
than two
two Muramasa
Muramasas.
blades. Fair enough. Fair enough. All right.
I'm gonna leave you alone about the cosmic calculator now.
Stupid weapon.
No promises though.
All right. And then of course and again, if you guys before I get into this, because I'm assuming a lot of people probably want to know about the Darkhold a little more before I get into it. If you guys want me to go into like maximum depth on all of these weapons and like their origins and all that, or items, feel free to link it in the forum. It's the first one on in chat. But to get on with the podcast, you have the Darkhold, which is
At
pretty.
some point, Micro, just a request from me.
Mhm.
I would like to do MCU differences versus comic differences on each of the Infinity Stones and go in depth on every Infinity Stone.
Oh, addicts. You poor soul. We will get there. Anyway, the Darkhold. It's pretty much a book containing with a collection of spells harnessed by the dark magician, mage, elder god being Chthon. Billions and billions of years ago, Chthon, the evil god, was forced to run away to Earth because of a demon named Demogorg, the God Eater. Demogorg, the God Eater, was coming for him, and he eats gods like Chthon. And so, um, Demogorg eats Chthon, but before doing so, every single evil spell and piece of work and whatnot was put into an indestructible piece of flesh known as the Darkhold. That one book that has knowledge of everything and is indestructible and resembles flesh and is so has incantations so strong that only Marvel's most powerful sorcerers can access and read from the book without losing their sanity. It is absolutely ridiculous. The spells inside are include access to limbo, the origins. Oh, by the way, limbo. If you guys care to ask, limbo is if anyone has seen the movie New Mutants, the area that Ileana goes to. It's kind of like hell. It's a separate part of hell. It's its own dimension. It is formerly where Mephisto was before Ileana Rasputin magic beat the crap out of him and took it as her own domain. Um, if you guys want me to cover Ileana, I will. But yeah,
Oh, I am there.
yep. It gives. So the Darkhold has spells including how to access Limbo, the origins of lycanthropy, which is the belief that someone is a wolf and or dark being or dark force, the conjuring of dark forces, like summoning dark beings, controlling others' wills, and summoning Chthon and other malevolent elder gods, as well as siphoning energy and the origins of vampirism, which eventually comes around in the Marvel universe because there's a whole thing in the 90s where like characters just become vampires. Like Jubilee from the X-Men was a vampire at one point, and there's like a whole thing with it. But the most important thing within the Darkhold and the most powerful spell is the so-called Montesi formula, which is an incantation that can utterly destroy all vampires. It is the only thing strong enough to kill vampires. And it's probably something that Blade would love to have, because he'd be out of a job with that.
Morbius is fucked.
Very much so. Um,
Does that ever come into play, Micro? With Morbius, does the Darkhold and does that ever come into play in the comics?
you know, that is a very good question. And it could be. I might have to do some reading on Morbius, but I will definitely get you some answers on the Darkhold and if Morbius. I believe not. I don't think so. Um, but I'm unfamiliar with the ending of that 90s vampire comic run where everyone just becomes a vampire. I don't know how they decide to solve it. Whether it be to just stake everyone, throw pieces of garlic at them, or read the Montesi formulas or whatever,
So
and
that
then
that works in Marvel lore, right?
yeah, sure, I guess so. Steaks and garlic, you mean?
Yep.
Yeah, that I'm sure that works. I mean, if light can harm vampires and whatnot, I'm sure steaks and garlic do too. Um, but yeah, Chthon, the demon that created it, also made it so that it is readable in any language. You can literally understand it in any language. So you can read the Darkhold in Spanish if you would so please. If that is your dominant language. Um, here is that. Here is Wanda.
What if I want to read it in binary?
I'm sure it's a language. You can do 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 1 2 0 1 0 1 0 1 0 1. Oh look,
No.
vampires. They're all dead. Oh, I'm sorry. It'd be pretty cool if a robot and a vampire ever fought each other, and the robot was losing. In theory, could binarily read the Montesi formula and then use it to kill the vampire. In theory.
That sounds pretty true to me.
Yeah, Ultron versus Morbius. Anybody?
Also, love to see the picture of Scarlet
Wanda.
Witch
Yep.
holding it.
Yep, of course, because you as we all know, WandaVision had
WandaVision.
her. Yep. The next one, the Cosmic Cube. Now,
Oh yes.
yeah, it is
Basically
a
the Space Stone, but not.
but not. Yep. So the theory is that in the MCU, the Cosmic Cube was powered down to just be the Tesseract and a placeholder for the Space Stone. Since
Before it became the Space Stone, yes.
yeah,
And they
since
decided to retcon it and be like, oh, but it's inside the cube.
yep, being as we haven't actually seen the Tesseract in comics and the Cosmic Cube in MCU, that is why people piece it together as the same thing. But pretty much the Cosmic Cube is an item that it controls matter and energy, and it answers to the will of the user. Any sentient being that commands the Cosmic Cube will have their wishes granted. Do you want money? Do you want fame and fortune and boats and
Do you want a 7-inch hoagie? Well,
do
guess
you
what?
want a 7-inch hoagie? Is that what your heart truly desires? Because
Yes.
you can have it all with the Cosmic Cube. Um,
Dragon Balls.
yep, pretty much. It's Dragon Balls, but it is a
Minus
potentially
having to
one-time
find the
use.
Dragon
Yeah, minus
Balls.
having to find the Dragon Balls, only one wish, depending on if you're on Namek or on Earth.
7-inch hoagie it is.
7-inch hoagie. But it does require a little bit of like practice to use properly, but a skillful user can alter reality, granting anything they desire. In one instance, it was used by Hydra. It was so in its origins, the properties in it come from the Kree slash Skrull. However, it was developed by AIM, right? And AIM sold it to Hydra after thinking it was a failure, and it was in the possession of one Baron Strucker, right? However, the Avengers were on top of that, and if and so Baron Strucker wanted to use the Cosmic Cube to wish that Hydra and its loyal army had won World War II and was on course to alter reality in having that. However, Hawkeye comes and bow and arrows an arrow into Strucker's hand, having him drop the Cosmic Cube, and then him and Captain America kind of dive bomb for it, into which they both hold it, and Baron Strucker, because heroes always win, is out of luck, and the desire is given to Captain America because he is Captain
Because
America.
plot.
Because plot. And so, in this version of the story, Bucky had outright died in the ending. They were both on that fateful ship. If anyone is unfamiliar with what I'm referencing the TV show Avengers: Earth's Mightiest Heroes. In this alteration of it, Bucky dies. He's blown up completely They're both on that bomb that is set to blow up the U.S. and Bucky's like, the world needs Captain America. They don't need me. And he kicks Captain America off the rocket. Captain America lands in Antarctica and freezes and dies, but not really because he comes back in like 2000. And then Bucky explodes into a bajillion pieces. And us knowing what's inside Captain America's heart, when he makes his wish, he wishes that that Bucky had survived the explosion that killed him. And in reality, Bucky then becomes the Winter Soldier and kills Wolverine's wife. And yeah. Um, Here's Thanos with it. It's a little shaky on how the Infinity or the Cosmic Cube comes into play with Thanos because his desire at this point is different. He desires to beat the
Please, Lady
Avengers,
Death.
please death, all sorts of different things. But um, here he is with it. It's a thing. He has the Cosmic Cube. I could look up when he had the Cosmic Cube. It looks like a kind of 80s comic, kind of older. Maybe he wished for the Thanos copter, and that's why he got it. The Cosmic Cube. Kind of a lame use of his wish, but yeah.
I mean, is it though, Micro?
Yeah, not really. It's a sick helicopter that he can use to travel through Manhattan.
Wouldn't you like to have the microcopter?
Yeah, you're right. You're right. And of course, no list of Marvel weapons is complete without going into radical details on the Infinity Gauntlet. The only gadget capable of whatever the hell you want, because unlike the Cosmic Cube, it's said to be just an illusion, but not really, depending on the version of the comic that you're reading. However, this, my friend, is no illusion.
That's no illusion.
This is real. This literally can have you affect all of space, time, reality, power, mind, the soul, everything. All right.
Did I just foreshadow a little bit of this?
Yeah. What's up?
I was saying, hey, go into depth on each of the stones.
You did. That's why I stayed silent and smiled because oh, well, look at that. We're covering every single stone. Oh. Anyway.
Oh my god.
Oh boy.
Micro already knows me better than I thought.
What can I say? What can I say? I had you with the Cosmic Calculator. I have you with the Infinity Gauntlet. But of course,
you had to scroll back up to the Cosmic Calculator.
I did. It's like no image Cosmic Calculator. But of course,
just had to let me know.
Of course.
That you have the Cosmic Calculator and did math.
And I did math.
Statistics.
And I got
be able to predict.
I got through Loop's homework with the Cosmic Calculator, but didn't give it to him. I have the answers. They're here in my desk.
They're ready.
They're ready.
Micro, you should just keep just a calculator like in your background.
You're right.
Just for the memes.
Yeah, you're right. One day I'll grab a calculator. But yeah, when all of the stones are given to one user, they come into possession of one user and placed into the Gauntlet, the only weapon capable of harnessing the power of the Infinity Stones, because you don't want to walk around with 5 big rocks in your hand.
Disintegrate you.
Yeah, of course. They grant the user near omnipotence. It gives the user access control over space, time, the mind, and the soul, as well as power. The stones also react differently when they're in contact with each other. For example, the Mind Stone, let's say you have the Mind Stone, it gets more powered when it's put into contact with the Power Stone. Amplifies the Power Stone will then amplify the power of all other stones around it, and is kind of sort of why you see something like the Soul Stone being a special form of a stone, right? Might have come into contact with a different stone. But each individual stone will kind of power the other until it's completely one big powerful entity. And Um, of course, giving someone nigh omnipotence, uh, it's kind of a dangerous weapon. The Infinity Gauntlet. Thanos using it to half away all life, and then Lady Death's like, yeah, your brother's here. He's got his sexy pheromone powers, so I'm not gonna love you because I love him. And then Thanos wah wah cry, and then Nebula gets it,
Then Nebula, and then Adam
and then
Warlock,
Adam
and then
Warlock, and then and then we get into Magius, and then he tries to get the Infinity Gauntlet for himself, but they replace the Reality Stone with a rock, and bada bing, he's been goofed. But oh no, Thanos comes back and gets the Infinity Gauntlet, and yeah, undo everything, and the Avengers are fed up with it. All right, and more specifically, the Illuminati. All right, and now I'm not talking about the Dorito people. All right, I'm talking about Mr. Fantastic, Black Bolt, the King of the Inhumans, Namor, Prince of Atlantis, Iron Man, Professor Xavier, and who am I miss? Doctor Strange. All right, they all come together to form the Illuminati. All right, and Mr. Fantastic's like, you know, I know we're the greatest people in the universe, the greatest minds of Earth, but I got the Infinity Stones here, and I'm gonna use the Infinity Stones to destroy the Infinity Stones, like Thanos does in Endgame.
use the
Except,
stones to destroy the stones.
except he fails, and
That's the
after,
one
and
thing I
yeah,
don't like in Endgame.
he was unable to do so, and faced with his failure and a reprimand by Uatu, the Watcher decides that you all should have one stone and hide it from each other. And that's what they do. They hide it from each other. No one knows where all the stones are. And yeah, you know, we're gonna go into each stone now. All right.
All
So
right.
time, the time stone, the time gem, total control over all aspects of time, including time travel, the ability to stop time, slow or speed up the flow of time, and accelerate or de-accelerate the aging process. You can stay young forever.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's the Space Stone, limitless manipulation of space, which allows for teleportation, dimensional manipulation, the creation of wormholes, anything to get you from point A to point B.
No matter how far in between.
The Soul Gem, limitless manipulation of souls both alive and dead, as well as the ability to evolve or devolve the physical self as well as mental capabilities. You can literally go from ape to big brain or big brain to ape, as well as it containing its own pocket world inside of the stone. That is usually why you see Adam Warlock holding the Soul Gem or Soul Stone. Reality, the physically the physical ability to alter the natural law of the universe in any way that the user wants. Reality is whatever you desire it to be when you possess the reality stone. Literally, if I want this to be there, or this to be that, or you to turn into a giraffe, I have the
Guess what?
power. You are giraffe.
If you want the cosmic calculator,
Just
there it is.
there it is.
All with the
Um,
power of one stone.
all with the power of one stone. Exactly. It's just there. Just reality can be whatever you want it to be. And then the power gem. All right, control over all power in the universe. Complete control of all power in the universe, as well as the ability to be powerful. Literally, just makes you strong and absolutely just beast. You Akane, you know what I'm saying?
Ripped.
Ripped. And finally, the Mind Stone, which gives the user universal consciousness and allows for unlimited manipulation of psionic and psychic powers, including telepathy and telekinesis. It
So,
would be
as a
really
little
cool.
prop bet,
Yeah, what's up?
which stone would you want?
I mean, that's a good question. Time would be really cool, but reality would be pretty cool. But the Soul Stone would be pretty cool. So any one of those three would be pretty cool.
I think if I had to pick, I'd choose the. See, the thing is, like, if you choose the time,
Mhm.
you can also get what you want with reality.
Mhm.
So probably time,
Mm.
because it would get boring, right? If you
Mhm.
could just do whatever you wanted with reality.
Mhm.
However,
Do whatever
I
you
don't know.
want with
I just
time.
feel like yeah, with time it would be like
You
earned.
go. You go back in
You
time.
could just go to different
Find a
realities.
dinosaur. Be like, "Ayo, what up?" The dinosaur rips your arm off. Then you go into the future. You wham, and then you're like, "Hey, I'm from the
You just
past. A
reverse time from
dinosaur
the
ate
point where
my
your arm ripped.
arm. Can you fix this?" And then they give you a new arm. Or
Or
you
you
can
could just
just
rewind
reverse
time.
time to where the dinosaur eats your arm and then it grows back.
Yep.
Whatever you choose.
Anyway.
Yep. So, just to give you a little context on how omnipotent you are with this, with the Infinity Gauntlet, it took the combined powers of Eternity, the Watcher, Lord Chaos, Master Order, Mistress Love, Sire Hate, Kronos, all of the Celestials, Death, and Galactus, and they only had a fraction of the power. Thanos was able to just 2% it. He pulled a Shaggy on him. It's ridiculous.
Right.
You have like these are all like omnipotent god beings, and Thanos was just like, "Yup, what up?" with all of the Infinity Stones put together.
Heavily nerfed in the movies.
Very much so. The only beings with the power to beat the Infinity Gauntlet have been the Living Tribunal, which is mentioned in Doctor Strange when he fights Mordo. The staff of the Living Tribunal is that one little cool wooden whip that Baron Mordo uses. Um, the one above all, who is, if I'm not mistaken, the one above all is the person that commands total control of the Living Tribunal and is what makes him omnipotent. I would have to get back onto that, but it's 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 complicated when it comes to celestials and gods. And then the only other person that I know that was even more ridiculously overpowered was God Emperor Doom, which if you guys want me to cover, I could cover God Emperor Doom. It was Doctor Doom with the powers of the Beyonder, like the guy that created Battleworld in Secret Wars #1.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Secret Wars #2 is just even more ridiculous. So if you guys want me to cover that, I can. Um, yeah, it's the Infinity Stone is so OP that again at just 2% of its power caused the United States and Japan and the entire west coast of the world to submerge underwater, and then it caused the Rainbow Bridge on Asgard to destroy and shatter, which trapped Odin and Zeus in Asgard. And there's only one thing to all you Marvel people out there that have watched the MCU and are doubters and believe everything that is being said. Presidente, you believing that what Feige says is true because it's not. We know he lies and we know there's cover ups. The one thing the Infinity Gauntlet and the Infinity Stones cannot do is destroy the Infinity Stones. You can't do it. It's not a possibility. It can't. You can't do it.
Yep. Except in the MCU,
Except in the MCU,
where
which
plot needed it.
which I guarantee you, Ant-Man and the Wasp will get it eventually because Thanos said he reduced it to atoms. He'll reduce it to atoms, but atomic level is something that Ant-Man will eventually be able to reach. I promise you that.
That's actually a really good theory,
I'm
Micro.
telling you, they're not gone. The Infinity Stones will come back. All right, and there's what else could we cover besides the Infinity Stone with Thanos? What do you, Alex? I'm gonna let you guess as to what you believe to be stronger, more powerful than the Infinity Gauntlet, or well, the next in this power scaling. We went from the
The
Darkhold
best thing.
to the Infinity Gauntlet to the Infinity Stone, or the Cosmic Cube, to the Infinity Gauntlet and the stones. What do you think could possibly come after this?
The Eye of Agamotto.
You're wrong. We're covering Hawkeye. Here's Hawkeye's bow. Ah! All right. So
Oh my
it
god.
was originally a long bow, but then it was changed to a recurve bow, and then now it's a compound bow. And Hawkeye has had the same bow and arrow since he was a child in a carnival, working at the carnival, paired with Hawkeye's trick arrows. He's a danger to any villain. Even Thanos and the Hulk couldn't take him on with all his trick arrows. This, to everyone in chat, is a wink, wink, nudge, nudge. I am going to cover Hawkeye extensively in the near future because he is out. This is why I put him in. This is the reason. Prepare yourself for nothing but Hawkeye. I know I said you can vote on who's next for next week's character. I lied. You're getting Hawkeye. you're getting
And
nothing but Hawkeye,
Hawkeye.
for 3 weeks in a row at minimum. All right, people, be prepared.
Oh my god.
I'm giving you the full plan here. You are getting Hawkeye, Kate Bishop, and at least me covering for the end of the month the Hawkeye run by Matt Fraction. This is what you're getting for the next 3 weeks. You get one character in between, maybe none, if I decide to cover the villain in Matt Fraction's Hawkeye. This is gonna be all Hawkeye week for everybody because of the TV show. I hope you enjoyed this week's episode of the Marvel Buddies podcast. I was gonna ask Attic what he thinks is the greatest weapon here, but I already know it's probably the Cosmic Calculator. So
It goes to the Cosmic Cube.
yeah. I mean,
You already know.
yeah, okay, yeah. Thanos isn't a mathematician, but he who has the Cosmic Calculator is. Yeah. What would you? I don't even know if I can rate this or just a bunch of weapons, but.
What if I told you
Mhm.
that I have the Cosmic Calculator?
Oh, do you now? Ah, very nice. If you guys want to see a part 2 of Marvel weapons, I can for sure cover. I already have a list written down of this is not my ranking. It's just a bunch of weapons that I wanted to cover to hopefully get you guys to vote on different characters that I have not covered. The Runaways, the X-Men, Wanda, Thanos, anybody else that Thanos has come into contact with.
I still want you to
Anyone
cover the
here?
House of M
Yeah, we can
comic.
definitely do House of M. So like I didn't get to cover a lot of the Illuminati, but the Illuminati disbands shortly after like around Civil War. Um like you have Mr. Fantastic and Iron Man on one side. Um
Skull shootings.
um yeah.
The start of Civil War.
Yeah, pretty much. But you have Mr. Fantastic and Iron Man on one side, and then because of the events of House of M, um Professor X, sorry, I was blanking on his name. Professor X is gone. Namor, if you remember, chooses to join Captain America, and so is not a part of the Illuminati. It divides them. The Inhumans are out. They're no longer part of Earth. And Doctor Strange decides to go neutral and meditate. So you guys are pretty much aware this disbands the Illuminati, but eventually they all come back together because they're all buddies, and they decide to throw Hulk into a vacuum of space. And then he comes back and blows up a planet, Sakaar. Yeah, they're blowing it up and losing his wife. Again, if there is any comic you guys want me to cover, feel free to list it on this week's character. If you guys want any character recommendations, you can email me here at marvelousmarvelbuddies@gmail.com. Addicts, do you want to type this in chat while I'm here for me? You want to be a lamp?
Marvelous Marvel Buddies.
At gmail.com. Marvelous Marvel Buddies. Yeah. I would try and cover up my name down here. This is my personal. I don't read this ever at all. I've probably done more reading of this and not had. Yep. You guys can, if you guys want, I will. Let's see what I can do with this. Yep, down there. I can link you guys or send you guys on your merry way to comics.
Oh yeah, that's right. I
That,
changed my Twitch name.
yep, Addicts Classic there has put down my email. If you guys want me to send you any comics to read, if you guys are interested in like, hey Andrew, what comics do hey Micro, where do I start on the X-Men, or where do I start on this or that? I can give you guys recommendations that I personally have, where I like to read, where I like to start off with characters, at that Gmail link down below if you guys are interested. If you guys want to vote for next week's character, and by next week I mean like after Hawkeye, it's in the Google forum. If you guys want to watch any previous uploads, I did manage to upload a couple more videos onto the YouTube channel. It's there in chat as well as the second link. But that's pretty much all for Marvel Buddies today. You got any final sayings there? Any final questions there, Addicts? Or anyone else in chat?
When do we get more Cosmic Calculator?
I don't know, man. You got to talk to Feige about that. Cause like it's been in one comic. There's only so much I can milk from like 3 pages of a comic. It's like you get to see it when he says go do this task for me, and then you get to see it when he's like, oh look, I'm about to put the jewel into the cosmic. Oh, the Spider-Man stole it. It's like there's 3 pages of it, and it's like I can only milk so much of the cosmic calculator. It's by far the most wanted thing I've ever wanted is more cosmic calculator, but there is 3 pages of it. It's like, yeah, it's like it's ridiculous. Yeah. If you guys enjoyed the episode, there's more in the YouTubes if you guys are interested in going back and watching. But that's all for this week. I'll see you guys next week Monday for Hawkeye. Later.
Later.